truly is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time to be a fan of British cinema, to be a fan of British directors, to be a fan of independent movies. It's a wonderful time because every now and then, an absolute gem comes round. Just a gem. This movie that we're talking about today is Repeat. So I was going to do a whole little skit where I said that whole bit at the start, and then when I got to the end and said repeat, I went back and started saying it all over again. But then I decided I'm not going to do that. That's just really, really trash. What I am going to do, though, is tell you my name. My name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. I like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget. And when it comes to no budget, you can't get much more no budget than this. But let me tell you, people, this is a fantastic film. I'm going to get into the review now in a second, but what I will say is Grant Archer, Richard Miller, the two directors of this movie, I tip my cap to both of you because wow. But first of all, please do all those wonderful things that help me climb that algorithm, help me get more eyeballs on our channel, and that is to like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell. The bell will let you know whenever I drop an episode, whether it's a review, an interview, or something to do with games, movies, anything like that, TV shows or anything. While you're at it, please do head over to nerdly.co.uk. On there, you will find a multitude of podcasts. History of Bad Ideas, Cinema Geeks, Filmmakers Podcast, Nerdly Out Loud. That's me! So you will find all of these awesome podcasts over there, and they all talk a whole multitude of things, and they're all awesome because Jason Brigger is the host of one of them, and here at Nerdly Out Loud, we love Jason Brigger. Jason Brigger for president. Yeah, you will also find a lot of reviews from movies, TV shows, and games, and videos, and everything like that. Wrestling, all that good stuff. You'll find loads and loads of reviews from there because we have got loads of contributors who all like to throw up their stuff on our website. So with that, I am going to get into this review. The review is of low-budget movie Repeat. And I have to say, if you've been looking for the new Primer, remember Primer that came out a good few years back? That sort of really low-budget kind of sci-fi time travel-y film. If you've been looking for another movie that reminds you of Primer, but isn't Primer and does something different, it's Repeat. I repeat, it's Repeat. This movie, let's get into it. I'm excited to talk about this film.
And now, our feature presentation.
If you've been here before, you will know the story by now. We are going to do the plot, the cast, and the characters, the things I did and did not like, and then we will hit my Nerdly rating, which is just my rating, not the rating of Nerdly as a whole. But I am the most important guy. I am like Sifu from Kung Fu Panda. That is how they all look at me. They probably look at me more like Po, but I'll take it. He did Kung Fu too, so I'm good with that. In this movie, we find Ryan and Emily Moore, a couple that are kind of going through a little bit of a stressful time because, as we're going to find out throughout the movie via flashbacks and whatnot, their daughter has gone missing. But he also works at like a local college or university or something like that, and he's working on like cognitive experiments and kind of dealing with the psychic and the other side, the other world, so to speak. He's really into all that. But what he finds out is that he's actually built a machine almost by accident with some copper wiring and what I assume was a self-tape light, which I have behind the camera. I assume it was one of them. And he's built this machine where he can talk to people who have passed on. So he kind of goes around all these different things because the schools kind of maybe shunned him a little bit and they want to get their grubby hands on the tech. So he takes it away to his little basement and then he tours and goes and asks people like come to the stage and they end up talking to dead relatives. It's all all really interesting. It really sets the scene for a tense, sort of slow breaking of a man's mental state and keeping it together for his wife, but just being so obsessed. You know, we've seen this done in movies before, but what I will say is that Tom England, who plays Ryan, is superb. Like, I was in from the get-go. Remember, like, Sean Penn in Mystic River, when you just felt everything? Hugh Jackman in Prisoners, when you felt everything? With Tom England, you're really feeling everything. He's taking you on this journey of a broken man. And while his wife to the side, played by Charlotte Ritchie fantastically, you kind of feel like she's being cold, but she's also dealing with her own crap. So the two of them kind of need to work together. It's not really happening. And the movie sort of takes you on this journey where it takes a dark turn because she's gone missing. You have to assume possibly dead. He now has this machine where he can contact dead people. Guess you kind of know where that's going to go. Oh boy, howdy, does it not go that way. It takes a full left turn, and I bloody loved it. So let's get into the proper cast and the characters. Nina Wadia, I absolutely love seeing this woman in TV shows, movies. She is an absolute treasure. Loved her. She's only in one or two scenes, but for me, she's great. I really, really rated her. Tom England, as I say, I'm not going to rave on too much more about him. I genuinely thought he was just captivating as hell in this movie. He made me want to build a machine in my shed where I could talk to dead people. That is a weird thing for me to have said out loud, but I did say it nonetheless. Charlotte Ritchie, again, as wife Emily Moore, I really, really liked her as well. She does a great job of sort of being detached from the whole situation while being massively obsessed with the whole situation, if you know what I mean. And when you get some twists and turns from her character, beautiful. Elia Jane Wood, I have most likely absolutely obliterated that first name. It does look like a bit of a strange one to say, but during the flashbacks, she plays Sam Moore, the daughter of our couple. She's great. She doesn't have a great deal to do, but she does enough to sort of pull you in and let you know that this, at one point, was quite a happy family. They had a lot going for them, and this whole situation has just... I'm not going to deep dive into too many of the other characters. There's only one or two other ones that are really quite pivotal. Everybody's got a role to play, and everybody plays it well. That is what I say. It's a nice ensemble, but you have to remember, this movie was made during, like, between lockdowns. They had, like, I'm pretty sure it was like a 3 to 4 week period, and they only had, like, maybe 6 or 7 crew. That's why the movie looks like it was made on a budget of £10, but they make it work. They make it work like you wouldn't believe, which is where I'm going to bring in, instead of talking any more about cast, I'm going to talk a little bit about the crew. I think Grant Archer and Richard Miller, the directors, these guys have got a phenomenal future ahead of them. If this is what you can do in those constraints, those COVID constraints, with very little money, if this is what you can do, I can't wait to see what you do next, because the sci-fi element of it all, the otherworldly element of it all, it works. There's not a single thing that makes me think this movie was made on no budget. There's not a single thing there, apart from the fact that I know it was. But they've done so well with it, and I can see why people are taking to repeat. I can see why people are really... I mean, the first thing I thought, this is my new Primer. I've watched Primer 100 times. I bloody love that movie. I will forever keep watching it until I figured it out. This movie is kind of my new Primer. It's my British Primer. I'm happy to be sitting here reviewing it. I'm happy that a low-budget independent movie made in Britain this year has got me this bloody excited about what these guys do next. Is there any point doing what I did and what I didn't like? I really don't think there is. I kind of just like everything about it. If I had to come up with a nitpick, and it's a very, very small nitpick, is kind of the ending. It gets a little bit rushed towards the end, but when you get that twist and you realize what is actually going on, I wanted it to be explained a little bit more for my tiny little brain. But that's a me problem. That's not a them problem. That's a me problem. And I am willing to hold my hands up and say, sometimes you don't need to be told everything. A lot of the time, I don't want to be told everything. But the plot twist that you get at the end of this movie is so damn interesting and opens up a range of ideas in my head that I just think, let's explore some more of this. Let's explore that. This could be really, really bloody interesting. Let's do it. And they David Fincher you. They Fight Club you. Any David Fincher movie that's ever been made. The breadcrumbs are all there. I have watched it a second time. The breadcrumbs are all there. They are pretty much telling you from almost the start what's going on. I love that. So I'm just going to get into my rating, my nerdly rating, which remember is only my rating. It's not the official rating of nerdly.co.uk, but you can take it to the bank because I'm the best guy there. If you want to know how good your movie is, you come to Kev for a review. Kevin Halden, MD, PhD, VOD, movies, things. This movie, I am going to give it a solid 5. You don't make a movie on a budget like this, during a time like this, as good as this, and not get 5 out of 5. I'm sorry. People will hit me up in the comments. People will have a go at me online. They will say, "Man, Kevin, how can you do that?" And they can say all they want. Haters are gonna hate. And I don't care. Because this movie needs to be seen. It needs to be spoken about. People need to get on board with it. Grant Archer and Richard Miller need to be snapped up straight away. When you really think about it and you strip back the layers of what's going on, it's a story of tragedy. It's a story of family heartbreak. It's a story of trying to find your way, trying to find someone who's missing, and that at its very core is a human story. And then they throw in all this other science and cockamamie shenanigans, and you've got a sci-fi nerd who's just sitting there going, I am in. I will watch this movie a third time. I will most likely watch it a fourth time. I want everybody out there to check out Repeat. It gets a 5 out of 5 from me. Love the movie. I will continue to rave about it. I get to do that because this is my channel. And if you disagree, there is a comment section below where you can place all of your comments and I will happily ignore every single one of them. Unless it's positive, and then we can have a discussion. I love movies. I love British movies. I love when independent directors make great movies. And Grant Archer, Richard Miller, you assembled a wonderful cast and crew. Cast especially, Tom England, Charlotte Ritchie, wonderful. What a job you've done. 5 out of 5, that's what I'm giving you. I hope everyone checks this movie out ASAP. And with that, I'm going to go because this has taken up a little bit more time than I honestly thought it was going to. I kind of just thought I was going to come on and go, Repeat, 5 out of 5, watch it, it's awesome. But then I got rambling, I got waffling, and that is that. So I'm going to go, but please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that bell. That bell is a notification bell, and it will let you know whenever I drop another fantastic episode. I have got more reviews, more interviews, loads more stuff incoming. I'm working on a new ranked video, which is quite exciting. Remember, I did the one for Eddie Murphy. Bit silly, considering he's not all that relevant anymore. Like, it's not really a thing anymore, but Coming to America 2 is coming out, so why the hell not? But I am working on another one. I'm working on an actor that I genuinely adore. Most people adore him, in fact, and that will be coming soon. But I'm going to go, I'm going to bounce, and I will see you on